Hi my friends, today we discuss about end of park marker, but before I want to present you our winner. We have a winner of our contest. His name is Alex Karetny, professional engineer, 47 years, from Israel. We wish him very best, and I'll present you his solution for our contest. As you know, the prize is my book, Album of 100 Mechanical Parts. This is the part made by Alex. I studied it and I saw some interesting features, and in order to present it for you, I applied lights and surface aspects without altering anything in the model, only aspects. You can see here how it looks now, and I apply half section view by using this plane to show you what happens here, because there is a more interesting zone. This is that zone with a cylindrical volume continued with this part. You will study this object made by Alex to see how it's made, because I'll deliver it together with the drawing. You see, Alex has created a drawing where he made some marks with attention with double T here, to show that I was wrong when I made this conical face. You see, this is conical, but my model was with a cylinder here. The drawing is with a conical face of 5 degrees. He also wants to show us about that internal volume from this cavity. Alex has got my congratulations, and we wish him good luck in 3D modeling, engineering, and so on. As you know, you can download the 3 objects, the drawing, the part, and the PDF with the drawing from my site. You have here the link. The downloads will be Aporto 01, IDW, IPT, and PDF. Now let's go to our subject of today, the end of part marker. If I go to this end of part, I apply move EOP, which is end of part, to top. You will see that the screen is blank because nothing was done till here. The original drawing, which is this one made by me, has the dimension of 1.8 megabytes, as you can see here. Yes, you place the cursor here and you see 1816 kilobytes, not bit, byte. And now I'll save under another name this file with no part here. Save as. I select this and I add a suffix here with EOP to top. It was saved in this structure. Let's see how big is this new file. Place here the cursor and you see 700 kilobytes. This is less than half of the previous of this one. So if you want to send that part to somebody, you can use this procedure to have the same part but with a smaller dimension as a file. Your correspondent which received this will move the AOP to the end. He will wait a little and as you can see the part is recalculated. Yes, and now be sure that the object with the AOP to top, this file, I'll save it. .7 megabytes. In my opinion, this is the main advantage of using EOP, but it can be used in many other cases. You can receive a part like this with such a long tree of features, and the action to take is to go to the top and then to the first feature. This is the first feature here. Alex, our friend, started the modeling with this revolution. Place here the cursor, right click and select Edit Sketch. Now we see what was the first sketch of this model. As you can see, here is written fully constrained. Always you have to use fully constrained for the first sketch. This is the first rule. Then you go to the next or somewhere there. For instance here, right click, move EOP marker, and you have this volumes made until here. Again, you can apply edit sketch, and you see the new sketch. This is the new sketch. Why this sketch? Because, but let me edit. This is a projection of the cylinder. Then we go to the next here, and we see this button shape. What is the sketch for this? The sketch is here. Once again, fully constrained. You always have to be careful with this indication, fully constrained. Let's take a look to other situations with the EOP. We have here a part, and I create another feature. The feature is slot center to center. I select this point, be careful, this point. I go to the left and I place the other end of the slot, and the diameter, as you can see. Finish sketch, extrude this sketch through all. Good. Okay, now we have a new feature, and we decide to eliminate this fillet, which is above the new feature. I delete the feature and I keep the sketches and features dependent of it. Okay, nothing interesting here, but we see a mark, an eye mark. Let's see what is this about. Edit sketch. We see something new, a magenta arc, which has an importance, we suppose. Yes, it has, because this point was connected, coincident with the center of the arc. The first solution is to erase this arc, but we have a second solution which is not suitable here, but I want you to know about it. We right click this arc and we select break link. You see the arc is not magenta, but these points are. If I go back, finish sketch, I receive a message. The message is about coincidence of that two ends of the arc. They are not coincident with something, with some elements, entities. So I accept this for a moment. I apply Ctrl Z and Ctrl Z with the break, and now I delete this arc and I obtain an errorless part. Of course, if we double click on the sketch or select edit sketch for the last feature, we don't have this point connected with the part. We have 2 dimensions needed, so that the sketch must be edited and finished to place the feature in a proper position. A common use of the EOP is to move features and to place other features among the first and the last. Take a look here. We have a plate with 3 holes. Each hole is dimensioned by using the sides. Yes, this is the position of the first, and so on. All are dimensioned from the sides. Now I change the first sketch and I modify this dimension from 100 to 185. What I want is to maintain the holes in their position, so that I think to create a new work plane, cutting the plate on the middle and to dimension holes from that plane. Let's see how can we do this, because if I start now with a plane, the holes are before that plane, and I cannot use the plane to place dimensions from it to the holes, or from holes to the plane. This is why we move the EOP just here after the first feature, and now I create a plane, mid-plane between 2 planes, between this plane and this plane. And now I can move the EOP to the end, and I can use the plane to dimension holes. For instance, I cut this dimension and I place one to the plane, 33 for instance. Yes. Now when I modify the dimension 185 in 110, we see that these 2 holes are still based on the sides, but this one is placed from this plane at the dimension we used, 33. You see, this is another dimension, this is another dimension. Okay, so this hole now is dimension from the midplane, which was placed here after the hole was made, and the other two are dimension from the sides. You decide how to work. Another case which involves the EOP marker is illustrated as follows. You see, we have here a part made by us and the tutorial number 97. It happens that for unknown reasons, to receive from a coworker this part, but with a small error. For instance, if I go to this plane, here we have a sketch. The sketch is shared, and you must watch the tutorial number 097 to see why this sharing appears in there. Nobody knows why the support plane for this part was deleted. I delete this plane, but keeping the dependent sketches and features. Good. This is the part which you receive. And you see some errors here. To solve the problem, you think that by looking to this small plane, that this plane was eliminated somehow. You have the drawing. This is the drawing. That end of the part is placed at 95, 205, 145 millimeters from the center point. You know that here is the center point and a plane, work plane. So you apply move EOP marker here after the first plane, after this plane. You have the plane and you have to make another one. You cannot use this one. Yes, this is only an indication. You create a new plane based on the plane, this one, at the distance, the sum of mentioned dimensions. Let's create this plane. Plane starting from this to the right at the distance of 95 plus 205 plus 145. Okay, these two planes are aligned. How can I? Coincident. We don't use this one, we'll use the new plane. How we do this? We move the end of part somewhere after the errors here, and we select the sketch, right click, redefine. We have to redefine the sketch, placing it on a plane. I don't place it on this plane. I place it on my new real plane. This is a ghost, this is an indicator. Oh, but you see, we have the part solved. Good, good, it seems to be very interesting, but what about these errors here? Let's see. I select extrusion and not extrusion, sketch, and I apply recover. When I apply recover, we use sketch doctor, and we see that there are two problems here: constraint to unresolved reference geometry, dimension to unresolved reference geometry. This is the dimension of 70, and this is the alignment of the center point with the projection of the center point of the circle. On the same horizontal, you see this line, this axis is horizontal, and this is vertical. Z is always vertical. Good. This means that we have to solve these two problems. Next, horizontal constraint, you see horizontal, to reference geometry that could not be resolved. Use edit sketch to delete the reference geometry and rebuild the constraint. Next, we go to the sketch. This is the invitation to go to the sketch. And we solve the both problems. Firstly, I delete this line, then I project the circle here, and I place the dimension of what is, because it will be the same. I didn't change anything. I don't write 70. I accept 70. And then the horizontal of this point with the center point of the circle. I erase, I delete this projection of the center point. Adios. And I project the center point right here. Now we have a point. Once again, I have a point here, and I make horizontal this center with this projected point. Already exists, yes, because I cannot delete this point. Let me see. Oh, I have to delete firstly the constraint. Yes, now we don't have the former point, and we can apply, because this was the projection, I suppose. Let's see. I project again the center point. Now we have the point. Dimension, no dimension, horizontal between this point and this point. Already exists. Okay, if it is existent, I can go back. I don't have any error here. I make this plane not visible. I erase this plane because I don't need it anymore. and I move the end of part to the end of part. You see? Now we have the part without any problem. We don't see any error here. Good.